Hello and welcome to the second video on logical reasoning. In this video, I'll discuss blood relations. Blood relations is a common question that you will see under the reasoning section in various exams. So in aptitude exams, in campus placements, in various competitive exams like UGC NET, banking exams, and your MBA entrance examinations also. So what typically happens is that you get a statement, a very convoluted statement, and it will say, how is your mother's brothers, nephews, sister related to you? But there's a simple method that you can employ to solve these questions in seconds. So that's what I'm going to do in this video through some examples. So let's get started. Now, before I solve a couple of questions and show you the different constructs under blood relations, what I would say is that first we should get some clarity, of relations, and also we will discuss some symbols and notations. So now one thing is that in India, we call, anybody your brother, right? But typically in this case, when you say somebody is your brother, that means he's your sibling. You cannot even call somebody your cousin brother. There's no such thing as cousin brother. Cousin is cousin, brother or sister are your siblings. Similarly, you cannot call anybody your uncle as well. He has to be related either through your mother's side or through your father's side, and so on. So for example, let me take a simple example. So let's say this is you, okay? And if I were to describe your parents, I would describe like this, okay? So your parents, so typically you can also keep a certain symbol for males and females. So that means if this is your father, right? So for males, we can put a square. So let's say your mother, we could put it like this, right? And when they are married to each other, we can put a equals to symbol, right? And you can choose any other symbol also, but these notations help to solve these questions fast. If let's say I were talking about your mother's brother, that means your uncle, we will put sibling like this direction. That means if your sibling also, let's say you have a brother, you can put it like this. You have a sister, your sibling, another sibling, you can put it like this. So very, very simple. If let's say your father's sister would be like this, father's brother again would be like this. So this is very simple. Now if I talk about your grandparents, so your grandparents could be either from your father's side, right? That means either father's mother and father, or mother's father and mother's mother, right? Like this. Now another thing to note is uncle from this side is also uncle, this side is also uncle. But what is the distinction is that on the mother's side we call it maternal uncle or maternal aunt, correct? So similarly, on if somebody is on your father's side, you call it paternal. So PATR is a root, which means father. MATR is a root, which means mother. So from there it has come. Now if somebody talks about, let's say, your nephew, so your nephew is who? If your sister is married, so let's say your sister is married and she has a son, or if your brother is married and let's say he has a son, this is your nephew. Who is your niece? So this is your nephew. Now who is your niece? So for example, let's say this guy's sister is your niece. So basically your sibling's daughter is your niece, right? Similarly from this side as well, same thing, right? So we are clear with uncle, paternal uncle, maternal uncle. We are clear with nephew, we are clear with niece, right? We are clear with grandparents. So these are a few relations that typically you should know, and I'm sure all of you already know to solve these questions. Now let's get on to actual questions. So the first one says, A is the brother of B, and so on. So instead of reading all these statements in one go, we will read one by one and put them in the notation format. So he says A is the brother of B. That means A is the brother. So brother, sibling, we will represent like this. And because I know A is the brother, that means male. B, I don't know, I will not put. C is the father of A. Okay, very simple. C is the father of A, right? So father, so on that different generation, so above him, right? If A's son would be or daughter would be in this direction, and so on. C is the father of A, okay. D is the brother of E. So now D, E are not here, so let's say I'll put it separately. D is the brother of E. Okay, like that. And he says E is the daughter of B. Okay, if I know now E is the daughter of B and D is the brother of E, so they will be here. So what is the simple question? Then uncle of D is who? Uncle of D meaning D's parents' brother. So who is he? This is A. Next question. Again we will do the same thing. S is the mother of T. So very simple. S is the mother of T. T is the husband of J. So T, husband of J. T and J are married. N is the son of J. N, son, so male we know. Z is father-in-law of J. Z is father-in-law, meaning husband's father. Right? Husband's mother was already given. So, like this. Now, next thing is, K is the brother of N. K is the brother of N. So what is the question? How is K related to Z? How is K related to Z? Not how is Z related to K. How is K related to Z? So from Z you have to see son's son. What is that? Grandson. Very simple. Next question. He says A is the mother of D. Okay. A is the mother of D. Okay. And sister of B. Okay. A is the mother of D and sister of B. A is the mother of D and sister of B. Sister of B. Okay. B has a daughter C who is married to F. B has a daughter C who is married to F. Okay. Now B has a daughter C, meaning this is female and this is male. G is the husband of A. G is the husband of A. G is the husband of A. G and A are married. So the question is, how is G related to D? How is G related to D? This is so easy. G is the father, right? If the question was how is D related to G, you cannot say son or daughter, right? But here we can say. Okay. So let's move to the next question type in blood relations. Next is the pointing type, like looking at a photograph or indicating at a photograph somebody says something to someone. So let's look at a question here. So he says, pointing to a girl, Mr. Ali said, she is the daughter of my mother's only child. How is the girl related to Mr. Ali? So again, not reading the whole statement in one go, but how you do is you say, okay, Mr. Ali. So Mr. Ali, we know Mr. so male, says Mr. Ali says, pointing to a girl, he says, she is the daughter of my mother's only child. Mr. Ali's mother, daughter of my mother's only child. Now Mr. Ali's mother's only child would be Mr. Ali himself, and that girl is the daughter. So this is the she that he is talking about. So the question is, how is the girl related to Mr. Ali? How is the girl related? Of course, she is Mr. Ali's daughter. So very simple. So let's attempt one more question, okay, on this. Now he says, pointing out to a photograph, a man tells his friend, so this man, that means he's a male, right? He tells his friend, he says, she is, okay, this man is saying, she is the daughter of the only son of my father's wife. My father's wife. So he says that girl, she is the daughter of only son of my father's wife. That means my parents' only son, and this is a man we already know. That means she is whose daughter? This man's daughter, right? Who is talking here? So how is the girl in the photograph related to the man? How is the girl related? Again, she is also daughter. Now this sixth question, maybe what I can say is, maybe I'll request you to pause the video here and try and attempt this question on your own. Very simple. Anyway, let's solve. So he says, Ram said to Sam. Now again, so when you say Ram or Ram, right, So here when you say Ram, so you cannot assume Ram is a male, right? Maybe it's Ramya and the short form and you're saying Ram said to Sam, right? So it's important to know, you know, the gender and be very careful and pay attention to that. So he says Ram said to Sam, I am the only son. Okay, that means male. Ram says, I am the only son. I am the only son of only brother, okay, of one of your parents. Okay, so see here who is talking here, right? So this is a question phase. So he says, Ram says to Sam, he says, I am the only son of only brother of one of your parents. Okay, so Sam's parents. So now Sam's parents could be both Sam's father's brother or Sam's mother's brother, right? So we don't know, right? Through either way, right? We don't know whether through this one or through this one, right? Only brother of one of your parents, whose parents have only one son. Okay, so a little more convoluted. Whose parents have only one son. So there are two cases. That means Ram's father is either brother of Sam's father or Sam's mother. So let's say hypothesis 1, which is, let's say Sam's father's brother. So in this case, what will happen? Sam's father, whose parents had only one son. If Sam's father had only one son, then how can they be brother? Because they had only one son, but these are two sons, right? Two males, two sons. So that means this case is not possible. The only case is Sam's parent, which is Sam's mother, and mother's parents who had only one son. So this is anyways daughter. So the only son could be this guy, right? Ram's father. So that means this is related to Sam's mother. So now he says, what is the relation of Ram's father with Sam? So Ram's father with Sam is Sam's mother's brother. That means uncle, and through mother's side meaning maternal uncle. So done. Okay. So now we come to the last question type, and this is the coded type of blood relations questions. So this is the last question. You may want to pause the video and do it on your own. We have practiced now 6 questions already. Okay. So now in these questions, what happens is that they are giving some coding. So they are saying ampersand means this, at the rate means this, multiplication means this, etc., etc. And then you have to choose from the options. So I would say these questions typically I like to do through the method called reject to select. That means I reject the wrong options and that's how I select the right options. Usually that's what works for me best. Okay, so first I say that A into D means what? D is the sister of A. That means if somebody says A into D, this means what? This means D is the sister of A, correct? Also, if you note one thing, is that here in terms of the generations, right? So like I told you, right? Let's say grandparents are here, and let's say parents are here, and then let's say the children are here, right? So it's important to note that this symbol means that they would be in the same generation. While A plus D says daughter of A, that means there would be a uptick, right? That means there would be a change. That means if I say A plus D, that means what will happen is that A will become in the next generation. Similarly, if A divided by D means A is the wife of D, meaning same in the same generation, and so on. A minus D means A is the brother of D, again same level, right? In the same generation, right? This goes next generation, right? From this to this also next generation, like that. So he says, which of the following expression means J is the sister of K? Now from this, if you see, only the plus sign means there's a jump in generation. That means if you were to say between J and K, if there's a plus, that means they will already be jumping, right, to another generation. But he's talking about sister. So two things. One is there's no generation gap. That means they are in the same generation, and J is female. Now let's look at options to eliminate. So for example, J, K are here. There are two pluses. In fact, this means that K would be 2 generations above than J. Then how can this be sister? That means this can be directly rejected. But all the other cases, if you see J minus K, K minus J, J minus K, they are all just by 1 minus. That means, and minus also here actually means brother, that means in the same generation. So through this one we eliminated one. Now we eliminate some questions through the gender. So now when he says J minus K, what it means? J minus K means J is the brother of K. We have to say J is the sister of K. That means J minus K would mean J is the brother of K, right? So that means this option also we can reject, J minus K, because J minus K would means what? It would mean J is the brother, but actually we have to say J is the sister of K. That means the only option remaining is this. So this is so easy, right? Otherwise, and you don't have to do anything to do with L is to P. That doesn't matter anyway for you, right? So option correct is C option. So see how simply we could do it through reject to select. So that's it for this blood relations question types. So thanks for watching this video, and I request you to practice more questions so that you become good at it, and some high level questions we will solve on blood relations in the puzzles video. So thanks for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.